Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Thought we might need a little pep talk based on the feedback I've been getting here lately. I will have to warn you though, I'm not the best at these pep talks. At least in the sense of being all sensitive and kind and cuddly. I'll do my best at that. A few weeks ago, I don't even remember the situation, but something was going on with one of our children, and my wife came in. She's like, why don't you go give him a pep talk? And I looked at her and I said, you want me to do the pep talks? Because, not that I can't do them, but sometimes it's a little bit more of a, you need to suck it up and push through, buddy. But I will do my best to rein it back in today, because I think some of us need it. We need to realize that while we are up against what could be explained and described as just insurmountable odds, the things that are happening at such a rapid pace. Just this morning when I woke up and had my morning coffee outside looking at the news, my goodness, it's like we're seconds away, it feels like. I'm not saying it is, don't get me wrong. But it feels like we're just seconds away from the big red button being pushed by someone. And so because of that, and because of the various limitations that you and I and many others have, and you all know what your limitations are, we start to feel like that we can't do this. We can't make it. We can't survive against this. We're not ready. We can't get enough stuff ready. We can't get moved. We can't get things bought. We don't have the money. We don't have the physical ability to do this. We're getting old. It's just one of us. We've got a bunch of kids, and it's just one adult. And how can I do this? How can I take care of them and feed them and provide for them and protect them and do all these things? It's too much. I can't do it. Can't do it. The other day in a video, I said, right now, in this moment, and really until it gets to the point that real bullets start flying, your biggest enemy is yourself. That's the biggest enemy. The biggest threat that you face right now in this moment is yourself. Because you're listening to that, I can't. And the reality is that you can. If you read throughout any part of human history, you will see story after story after story of things that should not have been able to be done. Times when people should not have been able to survive, and yet they did. They did survive. They survived against all odds, and they did it because they didn't give up. They survived because they were determined that they were going to complete this, that they were going to finish this, that they were going to get through it, that they were going to survive no matter what. It was do or die. And they had made up their minds that they would push through until death is upon them, and then push a little bit further. That's really the attitude that we need. And it doesn't matter if you're a single mother, it doesn't matter if you're a little grandma by yourself, it doesn't matter if you're elderly couple or disabled, it doesn't matter if you're up to your eyeballs in debt in the city, in an apartment, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is that what's up in here and here, and that you don't give up. You don't stop. You don't say, I've done more than I can. I can't do anything else. I can't do this. I can't come up with the money. I can't come up with the time. I can't come up with the energy. I don't have the skills. Because when you start thinking that way, well, then you've already lost the battle. It's already done. It's done. We cannot allow ourselves to entertain these thoughts. Yes, there's a lot of bad stuff happening, and it's happening every day. It's starting to get enough momentum that it's really feeding off of itself. And it's coming from every direction. I've seen people over the last year or so when I talk about collapse and how we're collapsing and all this and how it's bad. And they're like, oh, well, I don't think it's really that bad because, look at what we experienced during the Great Depression. Or look at what we experienced during World War II. Or look at this, or look at that. Yes, all bad things. But can you name me a time in history, especially recent history, where there were things happening, everywhere, all at once? Financial, potential wars on just about every continent. The complete degradation of our society. Society's completely lost touch. The weak mentality of our society. Everything, every area is under attack. Every area is failing and collapsing. And because of that, it's very easy to say, this is just too much. This is overwhelming. I mean, I was prepping for a tornado. I was prepping for, one thing, dollar collapsing. I was prepping for, a big earthquake. My goodness, this is everything. Everything's happening all at once. It's too much. Well, it's a lot, but you can survive it. You can get through it. You can overcome it. You can figure out a way. And it doesn't matter your age, your physical abilities or inabilities, your newness to all of this, your lack of skills, your lack of money, your lack of having any help, of being completely isolated from others like you. It doesn't matter. You can survive this. You can push through this. You can figure out. Money is usually the biggest thing that I get people tell me. I would move out if I could have the money. That I can't afford it. I can't. Well, how are you affording where you're living right now? Well, then just figure out how to apply that money to someplace else. There are places, they're not easy to find, but you can find them. Owner finance places, small places that you can get pretty cheap. There's ways of doing it. I can't because I don't have the money to buy all the stuff that I need. Well, you're buying the stuff that you need right now. Maybe if you rearranged your finances and cut back and made some sacrifices and focused on things that were a little bit more economical to purchase, maybe you could afford to stock up on things. I did a short video. It creaks a little deeper than I thought it would be. I did a short video the other day, and in it I gave some suggestions on 5 things that you should go out and stock up on now. I understand some of you have all those things that was listed, but I gave kind of a overview plan of how to get your family stocked up with enough food for about 30 days. And I did the math, and for about $300, you could have 30 days food supply. 50 pounds of rice, 25 pounds of oatmeal, 10 pounds of butter, 10 pounds of good mineral salt. Those 4 items can be made into, decently tasting rice and decently tasting oatmeal. Doesn't have to be great, but it's decent. And then 30 cans of already ready to eat soup, not the concentrated kind, for each person in your house. You do that, and you'll have about enough food for 4 people or so for a month. It's not going to be great, but it'll keep you alive. Start thinking that kind of stuff. It's possible, folks. I've seen people right around here in my area that the odds were way more against them than they even were with us. And we didn't have really, great odds. It wasn't great for us. We didn't have the money. I was dealing with some illness at the time. We were just a lot of things going on. And we struggled and fought through it. And we're still working on our survival and preparedness level, our self-sufficiency level. But I've seen people that way worse physical condition, less money, older age, all these kind of things that on the surface, most people would say, well, you should just, lick your wounds, Go live in your apartments and pray that the government takes care of you. And they didn't do that. They said, no, I'm gonna fight through to the end, and I'm either gonna win or I'm gonna die trying. And they're winning. You can too, folks. Stop with the negative attitude. Stop telling yourself that you can't win. Stop quitting in your mind. Because that's what you're doing. When you tell yourself you can't do something, you're quitting. Don't be a quitter. Toughen up. Because I assure you, it's going to get worse. I assure you, the things that will be against you will be worse. And if right now, with the stuff that's going on, it makes you want to quit, then you're going to have a really hard time 6 months, a year down the road or whatever, when things get a lot worse. Build up the resilience now, the strength, the power to push through. Because right now we're just in training. Right now we're just preparing for the battle. When that battle gets here, it's going to be pretty bad, I think, for a lot of people. And for those of you that have convinced yourself over and over again that you just can't do it, you can't overcome this, you can't fight the odds, you're too weak, you're too old, you're too poor, you're too alone, whatever it is, you're already given up. You're already bowing down to the enemy. Don't do it. Keep pushing yourself. Keep figuring out a way to survive. There's always a way, folks, always a way. I've seen people go through crazy things and they made it. There's always a way to survive. The biggest threat that you face today, right now, is yourself. That's the biggest threat. It's not the government. It's not Klaus Schwab. It's not Bill Gates. It's not the banking cartel. It's not any of that. The biggest threat is you. You are the biggest threat. You must first face yourself, overcome yourself, and put yourself into control. Have some self-control. Learn to control your thoughts and your fears. It's not bad to have them. It's bad to let them run amok. We have to be strong enough, have the mental, physical, spiritual power to overcome this negative thoughts in ourselves that tell us that the world is getting too bad, too fast. I'm not prepared. I don't know how to deal with this. I'm not ready. I thought I would be, but I'm not. It's coming too fast. It's happening too quickly. Yeah, it is. But you can make it. You can overcome it. And you can prevail against it. Because here's the thing, and many of you know this, you're not fighting this really alone. The most powerful being in the universe is on your side. And you have to keep remembering that. Folks, it's serious. It is. Lots of stuff happening today. It's time to get your house in order. It's time to push through, fight, strengthen up, and just become salty. Get some grit in you. And tell yourself and the world that you're not gonna fail. You're not gonna be overtaken. You're not gonna lose this one. You're gonna push and fight through, and you're gonna win. You're gonna figure out a way to survive. You're gonna figure out a way to stock up. You're gonna figure out a way to get out of the cities that you're at. If you're wanting to move, you're gonna figure it out. Because if you don't, it's done. Folks, get your houses in order. Prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.